How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. Today, we're reacting and checking out Jose Treviño's defensive highlights from the 2022 season. The guy is a freaking monster. He's a stud, has a laser beam for an arm. The pickoffs at first base just make me feel some type of way. I freaking love this guy. Hip, hip, Jose. You know, he's awesome. And we're excited to take a look at the defensive metrics and highlights because at the end of the day, Jose Treviño is our starting catcher. You know, we've talked about Austin Wells extensively. We think maybe he'll make an impact later on in the season as an offensive piece. But, you know, with framing and the defensive nature of the catcher position still very much intact, Treviño's value cannot be understated. So we're excited to dive into the highlights. We'll get it started here against the Los Angeles Angels and see what he has to offer us. I mean, I love this guy. I mean, how many, you're not going to see catchers do that very often. I mean, it's interesting. A lot of these pickoff attempts you're going to see came against Jordan Montgomery, which I find to be really interesting. A lot of steals came against Jordan Montgomery, especially early on in this video. But Ryan, how awesome is it that you see a catcher with this type of vision, this type of reaction timing to finding ways to collect outs in big moments?
Yeah, so, you know, during the season especially, I referred to Treviño as someone who's a playmaker, right? He makes things happen, right? You know, Treviño is someone who's going to force the situation and create a defensive play. We see, and if you look at a situation here, I'm not saying that Montgomery was going to get rocked by Walsh here, but, you know, you can't assume that Montgomery's going to get Walsh out here either, right? We've seen innings where Montgomery got BABIP'd a little bit. I know he's with St. Louis now, but there were a lot of situations where he would just get he would bleed to death with, you know, soft hits left and right. So with 2 outs, getting him out of that situation with a 4-0 lead, I mean, you basically set the tone for Montgomery to be able to cruise through the entire game. And that's something that Treviño provides, not just for Montgomery, but for the entire pitching staff. And as you mentioned, you know, Wells, I love Wells, but, you know, Treviño provides a ton of value to this team, even when he's not hitting.
Absolutely. I mean, look at that. That throw could not have been better. Absolute snipe. Again, Montgomery, very strange. This is a laser. Incredible, man. That thing must have been going like 100 miles an hour.
Doesn't have a lot of time to react either. You know, if you think about it from the sense of you've got to communicate and get to that ball quick. Again, it's on that most highlights that come with Treviño come with Montgomery on the mound. But you know, that communication. Remember, at this point in the season, it was April this series against Detroit, so he hadn't had much time with the Yankees. Another Montgomery highlight and another throw out.
Nasty.
Yeah, like this is his first year with the team, right? Like he didn't have much time to get acclimated with these guys. He got during spring training. You know, he gelled with this team, and I think that speaks a lot to who he is as a person. I was actually at this game. This was electric. Mejia would actually hit a home run after this. So, and the Yankees won the game 2-1 on a walk-off home run.
Damn.
Yeah, so big play there.
Sick. I mean, those snap throws are wild.
Right. And if you notice, you know, that Montgomery inning, he actually got Montgomery out of jam there. He walked, I believe, 2 batters in consecutive beforehand. And then if you look at Sears here, you know, Sears is young, and this is like his second start. So getting him free outs like that is huge, huge.
Absolutely massive. I mean, he catches him leaning so nicely. And then, yo, shout out to Rizzo for that scoop too. Good God, gorgeous.
Again, it's giving pitchers confidence. It's giving them free outs. It's getting them out of situations. That's the type of stuff the pitching staff will appreciate, and that's the type of stuff that will get you a lot of wins in games that come down to 1 run, like that Rays game. You know, had he not thrown out Ramirez there, the Rays it would have been a 2-2 game going into extras, and you don't know what happens there with the runner on second.
Absolutely. That transition is man. I mean, you can't do better than that. That's an absolute dart.
Yeah, and Rosario's got incredible speed. Incredible speed. He's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah. The transition for him is so seamless.
Yeah, he had 1.4 throwing runs last year, caught 33% of base runners, so he was excellent controlling the running game despite his pop time not being great.
Yeah.
It's coming back on Treviño, and he holds on to
Oh, snow coned it.
Again, that's great. That's being a great athlete, which a lot of people don't give a lot of baseball players credit for. But Treviño's a remarkable athlete, and he plays. I mean, a lot of the things he does at catcher are just mind blowing.
He's so athletic. He's so like surprisingly athletic. It's pretty incredible to see. And he's just, man, he's like the epitome of a Yankee, man. He leaves it all on the field. You'll never see him not give 100% effort.
Right, and that throw there, I mean, again, you can't. I know that Efros would get the next batter to pop out, but in the situation where it was second and third, a single ends the game, which people don't really, think about. If he doesn't gun out that runner at second, that game could be decided by a single. 2 runs can score very easily. Um, it's stuff like that. It's what it keeps this team in the game in games. It keeps this team from being in situations where they're likely to lose. And that's what makes Treviño just so excellent at what he does.
Yeah. And you're not going to find I mean, look, we thought Kyle Higashioka was a very solid defensive catcher, really did well with Garrett Cole and stuff, but it was crazy to see how quickly it transitioned away from Higashioka toward Treviño once they got a taste of what he could do in, behind home plate. All of our pitchers started to prefer him, and it was obvious. Their numbers were getting better. The bullpen is tremendous, and he is such a calming presence about him too. You just see everything he does is so seamless. He's so confident with every decision. He's very reactive. Like this. I mean, right here, he doesn't hesitate for a second. He's like, Jordan, get the hell out of my way. This is mine, and guns him out. This easily could have been Jordan's play, and he was like, nope. This is mine. Confident, taking advantage of that, and he gets the job done.
It's decisive. It's decisive decision making on the field. These are split second decisions you have to make. While everything's going on, there are a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of pressure on the defense, and having someone who's going to go out there and be aggressive with the ball and make split second decisions like that, really makes the pitcher's job a lot easier. Again, this play again, it decided an entire baseball game. Like I hope people realize, and this game as well, the Yankees came back in this game and won. Montgomery was going to probably continue. Like, if you notice, that pitch was out of the zone as well. Montgomery's command was gone in that inning. He could have gotten blown up, given up, 5 or 6 runs, and given the Rays 5 or 6 runs in that inning after, and that game would have been over for the Yankees. Instead, they walk away with a win, and I believe Treviño was the one who put them ahead with a home run, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe that was a different game, but it's small things, it's little things in close, decisive games that you're going to be able to control the running game. You're going to be able to pick guys off. Teams are going to fear Treviño behind the dish, and that's something that's going to help pitchers, especially with bigger bases this next year. Guys are going to have a lot of opportunities to run, and having a guy like Treviño there is going to be huge for this team.
Absolutely. I also point out the fact that these plays hype everybody up. The energizing factor, the energizing variable of making a play like this, that gun against the Blue Jays there was the Rays, just completely, you saw Donaldson running around going crazy, gives them the energy to come back in some of these games. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it just takes that turning point, that spark that changes the course of game. Treviño offers you that defensively, which is very rare. You don't find guys that can make a play like that defensively very often, that can change the course of the game. We saw it with Harrison Bader. We've seen it with Oswaldo Cabrera and Aaron Judge, but not everyone's capable of those flashy moments. So, like this, this is just awesome. I mean, again, is Gary Sanchez making this play? Not a freaking chance. There's no way Gary's making that play.
Right, and the Yankees made a decision in the offseason to really center themselves around defense. The Yankees didn't expect Treviño to be a 90 WRC plus hitter this year, which isn't above average, but it's a lot better than what Treviño was doing in his career. They expected to be bad offensively at catcher, and they were okay, and they had incredible defense, and that was a shift they had to make, I think, as an organization.
Absolutely. But guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of Fireside Yankees, taking a look at Jose Treviño's 2022 Gold Glove level highlights. I mean, the guy's a stud. We love him. He's a great Yankee, a great guy to be in the clubhouse. And we're a big fan of his, especially on the defensive side. And that value is not going away anytime soon. He's been very good defensively for a very long time. And he has always wanted to be a Yankee. That's what you want from our players, by the way. Jose Treviño's main goal in life was to be a Yankee. His dad passed away, and he like dedicated this entire journey last year to him. It's a beautiful thing. Treviño is one of our favorite players. I imagine he's also one of yours. So as always, we'd love to hear from you in the YouTube comments. As always, have a fantastic rest of your day. Like and subscribe for more cool content like this. And we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.